Hello, welcome, and welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey. So, it's April. These messages really are, kind of whenever you see them, but I do tend to do them at least monthly. So this month we're using the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and then we're using the Wandering Moon Tarot for additional information. We'll get an Oracle card for the overall vibe, and then of course pull 6 tarot cards and see what the vibe is. I have my little bowl here of all of the zodiac, all of the human design profile numbers. I'm just gonna pick one. So let's see who has me feeling a bit ADHD. Cancer. You guys. I'm saying that because when I made the decision, and we haven't had a single human design profile read come out yet. That's interesting. Anyway, see? That's what I mean. Can you hear the humidifier? Let me turn that off for now. Again, it's like, is your attention being grabbed by a bunch of different things? My neurodivergent buddies. Because seriously, like when I made the decision that I was going to sit down and do this reading, that was like an hour ago. And I have just been like buzzing around to a bunch of different things. So let's just, before we get going, let's just bring it to center. Let's be present in this moment right now for as long as this reading is, or as long as you'll stay for it. I mean, I hope it's the whole thing, but I can't control that. So, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Okay. Here we are. So, let's get an oracle card for Cancer. What's the overall vibe? And I'm not blaming you for my ADHD. I have that regardless, but whenever I do make a decision to sit down for a reading, like whatever, kind of sensations and things start happening, that is very much, part of the message. So that's why I am sharing it with you guys. All right, let's see. Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Well, that's kind of deep. Mars just went into Cancer. When was that? I have my little note here. The 25th of March, which was not that long ago. So, it would depend on where Cancer is for you. If it's your sun, then, it would depend on what house Cancer is. If it's your rising sign, like it is for me, that's the house of self, right? Like really taking a look at yourself. Mars is fire, so, we got a fire planet in a water sign. maybe creating some steam, good or bad, you know, because steam can exfoliate, purify, but it can also burn if it's concentrated in a spot for too long, right? So very interesting. That's also interesting. Can you see that? I mean, came out reversed, so we're going to keep it reversed. That's justice in the reverse, card of Libra. 5 more. We have a Libra full moon coming up on Thursday. There could be something to that. What in the world? Look at Okay, Cancer, tell me right now. Tell me right now. What is going on? We have the Wanderer in the reverse. We have the Empress in the reverse, which is also Libra, but it can be Taurus as well. The Empress is associated to Venus. Venus is associated to both Taurus and Libra. Now these are sideways, but they're not upside down, so I'm not going to take them in reverse. But we have the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Moons or the King of Cups, which is Pisces. So, I mean, very water energy here. Okay. One more. Cancer is going to take me on a ride, and I am here for it. Let's go. That is too many. But the Ace of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, and the Hierophant. Nope. We have boundaries, okay? We're taking one more. Thank you. 4 of Wands. Okay. And the Death card. The Moon, there's Cancer. Okay. Let's just talk about it. I kind of like hesitated on the 4 of Wands because I was like getting this like deja vu feeling about 4s, and so then I was like looking on the table because I'm like, is there another 4 out here? But no, like I was thinking while I was shuffling that today is the 4/4 portal, right? It's April 4th, right? Okay. Literally had to look at a calendar. And, you know, 4s talk about stability, discipline. You know, there's 4 corners. So, you know, it talks about building a foundation. And especially with the Libra full moon coming up, Libra is all about we. It's interesting because we are still in Aries season, and Aries is I am. So there's this, you know, push and pull between me and we. And then Mercury goes into retrograde in Taurus, I think at the end of April. So Taurus is again like even also about stability and, you know, possessions, and it's earth, right? So it's also about like being grounded and comfortable. And I heard someone say earlier today, who was it? minnow pond. I'm sure you probably subscribe to their channel because, I mean, everybody does. They have so many subscribers, but it was in a Taurus reading because I'm a Taurus sun, and he was saying that retrogrades are a good time for anything RE related, like recovery, researching, reworking, like anything that's like a word. So anyway, if you want to check out the Taurus reading over there, if you have any major Taurus placements, feel free, because it was like the April bonus reading. So all right. Let's just start from the beginning, like I was saying with the mirror card, right? Like, and again, it says who or what is triggering you. So there's clearly, some level of healing going on, because when I think of, if you are asking yourself who or what is triggering you, then you are like following the breadcrumbs, right? Like you are doing some sort of inner child or past healing, because you recognize that there's something happened, it's causing a reaction within you, right? And then it becomes, where is that even coming from? Like, why am I having the reaction that I'm having? Like, it's really diving into our ego and really figuring out where those stories, that energy in our bodies, like, where did it get stuck? I call those Horcruxes. I'm also a Harry Potter fan, so hashtag Harry Potter. But because legit, like, I believe that our energy just gets trapped in certain experiences within our lives, right? Like something happens, we have this big emotional response to it, and it's like our energy gets zapped and it gets stuck in that moment of time. And then it's like our brain doing what our brain does. It starts attaching stories to that feeling, whether it's correct, quote unquote, or not. It was definitely correct at the time, based on, of course, how old you are, the experiences that you had leading up into that time. But the older that you get, the more experiences we have, right? Then it's like, okay, I can have a new understanding about that experience. And most times you're not responsible for it. But you can go back to your inner child and say, hey, I can understand why we would feel this way, but I can see it from a different perspective as an objective adult now, and, like, heal that. So let's start with justice in the reverse. Now, justice talks about the scales balancing. It talks about fairness. There's a karma aspect to it, whether that's good or bad, kind of getting what you deserve, again, good or bad. There's also like, kind of this like fate type of a vibe to it. Like, right time, right place. And also, Libra is an air sign, right? Air is about our minds, perceptions, like I was just saying about ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the experience or the stories that we attach to experiences. So with justice, there's an objectivity that needs to be brought to the table, right? Like, because in order for justice to be fair, it has to be objective. There can't be feelings or beliefs or anything like that involved, because then it just becomes an opinion. That's why, the symbol on justice is usually blind, like, or blindfolded at least, with, of course, the scales. So it's interesting. And then we have what looks like the Ace of Swords. here. And the Ace of Swords is about truth, honesty, it's new ideas, but it's, again, it's divine truth, objective truth. So with it being in the reverse, I keep kind of getting this feeling about indecision, or it's like keeping yourself small, or not like allowing yourself to pursue the things that like you believe you deserve for whatever reason. And maybe that is because of ego. Maybe that is because there's a story wrapped around taking up space or showing up authentically yourself. And with, even just the imagery on this card, you could be pouring your energy into, quote unquote, the wrong thing, the wrong person, the wrong situation, the wrong idea. And wrong in the sense that it's maybe safe, it's maybe comfortable, it's maybe coming from a place of even like people pleasing. But it's not like, I just kind of get this feeling like it's not coming from, like, it's almost kind of like it's not exactly what you see yourself doing or you see the thing being, but it's almost like, kind of hoping and praying and wishing that it'll somehow turn into that thing. And maybe it will. I mean, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, and the Wheel of Fortune talks about the wheel turning. It's, like your luck changing. I always see it as a good card. I don't care where it shows up, who it's paired with, what it's next to. It's always a good card for me. So if you have been in this energy, which, I mean, it came out that way, so it has to be true. Then the Wheel of Fortune would be saying that energy, there's a potential or there's a possibility for that energy to be flipped, to be like even transmuted. And again, even going back to what or who is triggering you, that could be why justice is in the reverse. There is some sort of trigger happening or did happen that maybe even put a halt on like the momentum. But again, right, I mean, like the energy is available for the momentum to start momentuming again. I love that we have only 2 minor arcana cards out here. I want to see what the Wanderer card says. I don't know where that card would be in here. This isn't even the right. Wrong deck. That only took me 5 years to like figure out. Here we go. Okay. It says, I love that there's an upright and a reversed description. Let me hold this here for you. Can you see that? I can't see my like camera screen thing. So the first of 3 cards unique to this deck. This card represents the I am presence, the multi-dimensional part of our consciousness. It is your past, present, future self combining to make up the sum of you as a spiritual being in your physical body. It is your connection to source energy and the ability to manifest. This card is asking you to connect with your I am presence, to interact with others from a place of love, to be mindful and appreciate the moments you find yourself in. It's a reminder of the importance of being present in everyday life. The reversed meaning is feeling separate from your spirit, unappreciative, ungrateful, not grounded, feeling disconnected, loneliness, isolation, duality of the self. And then the upright is remaining grounded, being present, appreciating you as a multidimensional being, consciousness, remaining in your heart space, integration of the self. Yeah, like that was kind of like what I was talking about, like with the Justice card. Bink. The reading is over. No, it's not, because we still have cards to talk about. But I kind of love that this came up as confirmation. Though it's kind of like this down here, or this up here is how, and this happens sometimes during these readings, and I love when it happens, but it's like the top row is how you are perceiving your current situation, and the bottom row is what is available, like what is possible, the things that you're not seeing because of being in this energy. And also I want to say that this is very much like part of the process. There is nothing wrong with being in this energy, because we have to figure out these triggers, right? Like it's healthy for these triggers to come up, and even healthier to have an awareness to be like, why am I being triggered right now? Like, what is it that is triggering me? And pour a ton of effing love into that thing, whatever it is, right? It takes a lot of grace, a lot of compassion, which is the King of Cups, because, cups being about our emotions, right? It's water, very much your energy. And the kings are the highest expression of the suit. So there is this emotional maturity, there's clarity of emotion, very much connected to the heart space, which is what this card talks about in the upright, right? So this is like the upright version of that card. So I love that they even came out together in the way that they did. There's empathy, compassion, but it like not only for yourself, but also for other people, but you have to give it to yourself first and foremost. Because if you don't realize like the impact of it within yourself, it's like you want to give and you want to give and you want to give and you want to give. But if you have no capacity to receive, then it's like your giving is almost kind of null in the sense that like energetically it's not equal. Because if you can't give the love that you want to, or if you can't receive the love that you want to give to other people, then like where is that even coming from? People pleasing. You can maybe recognize the importance of feeling loved, feeling seen, feeling understood, because maybe in your personal experience you haven't felt a lot of that from, your caregivers, your parents, your peers, whoever. But it goes both ways. We have to be able to receive in order to effectively give. I hope that made sense. And then we have the Empress in the reverse. And the Empress is like the divine feminine energy, not the gender, just the energy of the divine feminine. Oh my gosh. And this is exactly what I was just talking about, but I wasn't even looking at the Empress card yet. But divine feminine is all about like being in the flow, and it is very, connected to intuition and abundance, fertility, but not necessarily like biological reproductive fertility. It can be that, but more about like reproducing abundance, reproducing opportunities, nurturing, receiving, because that's, that is divine feminine, is being receptive. I absolutely love that. I mean, and on this card specifically, There's the Libra. There could be some, again, there's the Libra full moon coming up on Thursday. And, full moons are all about releasing. So there could be an opportunity for you to really make a commitment to release like a pattern of behavior, a thought pattern, an emotional block in some capacity, cry a lot if that's what you need to do. This could be a mother wound, because again, divine feminine, and it can be mother in the sense of, somebody who, it doesn't necessarily have to be directly your mother, your like biological mother, but it can be anybody who would have had that feminine role of authority with you. Why are nuns coming to my mind right now? I don't know why, but okay, that might have some sort of something for somebody. And then the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is literally the card of foundation and stability. I want to go back to the Empress because I don't think I necessarily talked about it in the reverse. You might have already gotten like my meaning, but all of those things that I mentioned, put it in the reverse. It's like the reverse or the opposite meaning when it comes out in reverse. So again, there's some sort of something that like you're either not giving yourself or you're not allowing yourself to receive. And even this card talks about isolation when it's in the reverse. So, it could even be blocking your heart center. And maybe again, like this could even just be something that you're moving yourself through, right? Which is healthy, and it is probably the best possible thing that you can do for yourself, because if you recognize again like what is triggering you, you can let it go, and it like allows that energy to be freed up and available for something else, available to receive. This is beautiful. So yeah, the Four of Wands again, fire. I say again because we were talking about Mars at the beginning. I don't think specifically, let me see. Actually, yeah, because the Four of Wands is Aries. Aries is associated with Mars. So, okay, there's that connection. Definitely take a look at like where Cancer is in your chart. And see, like what are the properties of that house that it's in, and see if that has kind of any correlation between like what is happening in this reading. But the Four of Wands is generally a card of celebration, but it's also like communal celebration. It talks about harmony. It talks about unity. There's sometimes a marriage aspect to this card. But it's just like in the sense of celebrating a milestone is how that feels. Because when we get to the Four of Wands, and Wands being about the actions that we're taking, it is our motivation. It's, communication, creativity, passion, our desires, but like what steps are we taking towards our passions and being creative? How are we communicating our creativity and our passions? They're also the card of information, whether receiving or giving information. But by trying things, by taking actions towards things, we get information, right? Because we learn things, we learn what we like, what we don't like, what works, what doesn't work. That's how we become wise, right? So when we get to the Four of Wands, there's this place of reaching a point where the steps that you have taken have built you a firm foundation. There's a level of stability there, and there's a celebration aspect to that. So it can involve other people. Absolutely. This isn't a circle. There could be, there could be some sort of circle that you get involved with. Not like an ick thing. I don't know why all of a sudden I started thinking triangle, and I'm like, no, not like an ick thing, but like Community, something that like makes you feel good. I love that death is at the bottom of the deck, because that would be saying that, again, this energy that you're like working through, that you're, because it's also like the only way out is in. Meaning, we have to go within ourselves to be able to come out full and authentic. So death, this is a card of Scorpio. There doesn't have to be a Scorpio involved, I'm just saying. But it talks about something ending in order for something new to begin. It's not like, a physical death. It could be ego. It could be an ego death. But again, it would be the true ending of a thought pattern, a true ending of something triggering you in a way that it used to. I always say when the death card comes out, I always say beginnings disguise themselves as endings. Because truly, something does have to end in order for something new to begin. And then we have the Knight of Stars, or the Knight of Pentacles. This is, like slow moving. This is the slowest moving knight out of all of the knights in the deck. But, stars or pentacles are about practical solutions. It's our money, it's our time, it's our physical body. There could be something that you were even slowly moving towards here. And then we have the Moon card. And I love kind of when the Moon card comes out, because when it does, that tells me that, and especially when it's at the bottom of the deck, it's like, we're not even going to look at this Five of Wands, because that would be a completely different like situation. Because when the Moon comes out, it's like, this and this is all that we need to know right now. Because truly, this is enough. This right here, this is enough on your plate, your emotional plate, for the time being. But the Moon card is also about the like subconscious, which is very much where triggers lie. They hang out. There's also, two hands in here. So like I was even saying with the Four of Wands, like there could be some sort of circle or like community that you get yourself involved with. But it's also like there's things yet to be revealed to you, and they will be revealed to you in divine timing. That's how I see it. Like when the Moon, comes out either at the end or at the bottom of the deck. I'm kind of curious anyway, like what? Come walk between my pillars. My secret and mysterious ways have fascinated all for millennia. Just as I guide the ebb and flow of the tides, so do I guide the ebb and flow of your emotions. Yeah. Stirring of emotions, goddess feminine energy. Again, with that feminine energy, cycles unseen. So this is great, because I feel like the last, like couple Cancer readings that I have done have been, like you guys have like big plans. You have big ideas, big, like expectations of yourself. And like I said, like this is very much part of the process to get you closer to actualizing those plans, those ideas. It's only going to help you in whatever you do. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. If you've made it this far, I've been trying to get better about mentioning, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. I love emojis, but my energy is focused on this YouTube algorithm. I want to like hitch a ride on it. I want to grow this channel. So yeah, I would appreciate any help with that. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.